start off, I'm defining God as the enabler of essence. You're still a Gnostic?
I don't know what that means.
The creator of essence. Essence would just be your defining features, a special trait.
Essence is your defining futures.
Yeah.
What is defining futures?
Defining features would be what tells you apart from another person. For example, my name is Flames. That can verify that I'm distinct from you. Your name is Turns.
So it's the creator of essence. That's what you're defining as God, and then by essence you mean defining futures, and by defining futures you mean what distinguishes someone from another person. So that the creator of something that distinguishes one person from another person.
Sure, yeah.
Wait, but so like, say do you think genetics like distinguishes one person from another?
Yeah. DNA, fingerprints, all that, yeah.
Okay. Well, or like names or something like that. Well, surely you think like your parents give you your name, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think like your parents are God?
No.
They gave you that distinguishing feature though. They're the creator of the essence.
No, I'm saying, okay. Basically, what I'm saying is your parents can call you that, but I'm saying what actually, then I guess a name wouldn't be a distinguishing feature. What the fuck? Yeah.
A name wouldn't be. You literally cited that as an example. Why are you backtracking?
You just convinced me otherwise. So I think
Oh,
examples of distinguishing features could be like your genetics, your DNA, your fingerprints, all that, your tongue.
okay. And you don't think it's names anymore? You like backtracked on that? Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, but
then I mean, say that there's some evolutionary process that caused all of these things or whatever that evolved from like lower initial states. Would you say that I'd be committed to the existence of God if I believe that?
if you were to believe in evolution, and evolution did create that, then yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, I believe in God. Do you have any
I
other
think that
views?
cool. I think also that God created evolution because evolution does have an essence.
Just by essence, you just mean something that distinguishes it from another thing, right?
Yes.
Well, God
Turnz,
also
what happened? I thought you were a Catholic now. No.
Oh my god, shut up, Shinra.
God also has an essence, right?
God's
No.
logical. But yeah, I guess
That's tautological.
I think God is illogical.
What do you mean?
What?
God can have contradictory attributes, basically.
God has contradictory attributes.
Mhm.
How's that possible?
He,
How's that? Okay, it's the explanation. It just seems to be the only explanation for everything.
No, what's the modality for that?
The modality for what in specific?
Where contradictions are true.
Um, Obviously there's no modality because contradictions are logical. So I don't think
Oh yes,
modality
it's
is.
not fucking possible. Okay, so your position is just impossible. Nice. Okay, anyone else?
Oh, that's what you meant. No. Then okay, then it's obviously a logical modality. But you meant something else.
Wait. Oh, so you're using a logical modality to say contradictions are possible?
Yeah, I think you can use a
Or get this
logical
fucking dumb fuck
modality.
out of here. He doesn't even know anything
Hey, no,
like
no, no,
what
no,
he's.
no. I think you can use a logical modality to say something's illogical.
Dude,
Like, what's the
how
problem?
old is this guy?
I'm pretty old. I'm
Dude,
15.
you're like 12. You're 15,
no,
bro.
Turnz. He's a
Wait.
young.
Turns.
He's a
Okay, turns. You don't think that you can verify that a false statement is true that is false? Like something is true that something is
what?
false? Like what?
Huh?
I don't know what you're asking.
You can
Also,
verify. Okay, you
Turnz. He's a year younger than me, by
wait,
the way.
Shinra, wait. Turns. You can say that it's true that something is false. You agree?
It's true. Yeah. Okay.
So obviously you can apply these like opposites to one another. So it should be perfectly fine to say you can verify something is illogical under a logical modality. So you can say it's logical that something is illogical. That's
Wait, hold
fine.
on. You got that because you can say that it's true that P is false. That from there, it's okay to like say that under a logical modality, something is both true and false at the same time.
And you can logically say something is illogical. Yeah.
No. So first of all, like that with like say that's a premise, right? You can say it's of a given proposition that proposition is true that it's false. Like that's not a contradiction, first of all. So if that's what you were trying to do, that's not even true. And then that wouldn't even get you to the statement um that you said. So it's just an invalid argument anyway with a false premise.
I don't think something being true and false is a contradiction.
Yeah, the same proposition, yeah. But it's a different those are two different propositions where you're assigning the truth values. So you're not assigning true and false to the same proposition, so it's not a contradiction.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, do you think that true and false are like contradictory to one another? Opposites.
Yeah, they're opposites.
Cool. So that example just shows it just displays how you can verify that like P is true. You can verify P by using not P. Like a system
What?
of not P. Fuck. Okay, do you want me to syllogize it for you?
Yeah, go ahead. But this is what you originally said. You said like P is false is true. Now P is a different
No.
proposition from P is
Just
false.
check that. Just check that. Just check.
So that's basically the response. So it's not actually a contradiction.
Wait, just check. Hold on.
And that's just an invalid argument.
This is pretty high level stuff right here.
What up, nigga?
So Tom, that
Anyways,
is not the argument.
Turnz, do you feel as if you're getting pressed in this debate right now?
No, this is like actually the easiest debate of my entire life.
Bro, Turnz, you're ass, bro.
You
was,
ass.
man.
Shut the fuck up.
What's
Shut up,
that?
bitch. I don't know who the fuck you think you
Check
mocking,
that.
ugly ass nigga.
Wait,
Fuck.
wait,
Ugly.
just turn
Ugly,
check chat.
really? Okay.
Yes, ugly.
Let's see what you look like, buddy.
I would kill you, bro. I would beat your ass.
What the fuck you wouldn't? You're probably
Are
like
you, are you
5'4".
at Atlanta? Are you at
200
Atlanta?
pounds.
Where
Like
you
no one
at? Are
fucking
you
wants
close
your
to the
fat
Atlanta
ass, little
bitch?
short
Are
ass
you
little
close to the
bitch.
Atlanta bitch? Are you close to the Atlanta bitch?
Are you going to
Where the fuck you at, bitch? I'll go to your place, bitch. I'll beat you.
You
I'll,
probably place. You punch a little
oh
homosexual.
my lord.
How is this
Turns, check
escalated
it
to
out.
physical violence?
Right, turns check chat. Good, bro. That boy not here. But
All right, let's see here. If there is no relevant distinction between the statements, it is true that P is false, and logically R is illogical. Then you
What's
can
the
say
emphasis?
R is illogical.
what his phone is?
There is no relevant distinction. Okay. Um. Hmm. Well, what does it even mean when you say logically R is illogical?
You verify that something is logical with a logical system.
What does it mean to verify something's logical?
Is illogical, you can verify that there are contradictory attributes to it.
So you're saying like within like a logical modality, there's some logical contradiction. That's what you mean by logically R is illogical.
Yeah, I'm saying there's some sort of contradiction with, let's say, R, and then you can verify that there's this contradiction with a logical system. Yeah, that's what you mean.
No, not verifying that it's true using logic or something like that. Not like a proof theory or something like that, but Just that there's because that's just a different statement than what we originally were talking about.
No, the statement is that I'm logically verifying that something's illogical.
Originally, it was that I think you got lost because originally it was that I asked you under how is it possible that God can have contradictory attributes, and you said it's possible under a logical modality, and then I said, well, how is that? Like you just don't understand what a logical modality means then because you're just not going to have any worlds where there's contradictions by definition in a logical modality. That's where the
Okay,
confusion came in.
why is that the case? Two, what happened was essentially you asked how something can be illogical and you can verify it to be illogical by using a logical system. That's just why. So yeah, answer the first question, please.
All right, I didn't listen to the second bit because I don't like go like two points at once or something like that. But for the first one, the reason why it's the case is because logical modality just means the set of all worlds of which there are no contradictions.
Logical modality is just like well, modality would just be possibility, and it's just like possibility under a logical system. So yeah,
Logical modality just means possibility.
under a logical system.
Wait, so when I asked you how is it possible, you just responded with something that just means possibility. So that just doesn't answer the question that I originally asked
No,
you.
no. You asked how it's possible. I said because there's no contradiction. It's consistent with the logical system.
Wait, hold on. Wait, because you were saying that God like has contradictions or something. Like there are contradictions.
Yeah, God has contradictory attributes. Yeah.
Yeah, does that just not mean that like contradictory propositions are true in your view?
Yeah, you can have contradictory propositions. Yeah, you can have contradictory things. Yes.
Yeah, and they're true in your view, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I asked you, well, how is that possible? When you responded with logical modality, all you meant to say was possibility, because that's what you mean by logical modality. You don't know. You don't
Oh
mean what I
no
mean.
no no! I responded by saying it's consistent with the logical system.
Wait, but it's by definition inconsistent.
How?
Because inconsistent means that there's a set of propositions where one proposition contradicts the other.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm asking though, how is that? Okay, how is that inconsistent by definition? What's the definition of this
Want me to
thing that you're
repeat what I
using?
just said?
Yeah, sure.
So inconsistent just means that there's a set of propositions, and a proposition of the form P, and a proposition of the form, or just the proposition of the form P and not P can be entailed from that set, and that's exactly what you have. So it's by definition inconsistent.
Okay, so you're saying inconsistent is just a set of propositions. And then proposition and like P and not P can be derived from that, right?
Yeah,
Now, what does that matter? What the fuck?
because you asked me because you said something like, "Oh, it's consistent though. It's consistent."
Yeah, something being illogical is consistent with the logical system. Yeah, a logical system. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
Something being illogical is consistent with a logical system.
Yeah, but then what do you mean by consistent?
It falls under the logical system. It prescribes to it.
What does that mean?
Basically, you can explain it with the three laws of logic.
What do you mean by explain?
Okay, hold on. Explain definition. I'll just get the Oxford one. This is a. Oh my god, this shit's so ass.
Do you just mean it's
Explain.
consistent with the laws of logic?
Hold on, I just can't get it. Hold on, let me get the definition. What the fuck?
Because then
Oxford's.
there's if you mean that,
What?
but do you mean consistent with the laws of logic?
Yes, consistent with the laws of logic. Yes.
Wait, but then you just have term circles going on.
How?
Because I asked you what does consistent mean, and eventually you got down to a definition where you just use consistent. It appears in the definition.
Okay, let me just define. Hold on. Define. Explain. Explain is to plain, manifest, or intelligible. Yeah, just that to illustrate the meaning of. Basically, you can illustrate the meaning of something. You can illustrate the meaning of something that's illogical using the three laws of logic.
Illustrate the meaning of, like, you're just saying like what it means. Wait, can you give me an example? Like, how do you like illustrate the meaning of something using the laws of logic?
I got you. So
You
wait, no,
just mean like,
that's not what I mean by meaning. No, that's not what I mean by meaning.
what do you mean? That's not what you mean by meaning. I never even asked you what meaning meant.
Okay. So when I say explain, look, when I say explain something that's illogical, I mean they're explaining. Okay, they're saying that it exists because they're giving an explanation. Okay, they're giving grounds for why it exists.
Okay. So I don't know what you mean when you say something like illustrate the meaning of something with the laws of logic. Do you just mean provide?
Illustrate, provide a grounds to believe in it. Yes.
Wait, so illustrate the meaning, you don't mean give a definition.
No, not no. It's a shitty
And then by
definition.
illustrate the meaning of, you mean like give a reason why you would commit to it?
Yeah, why you would commit to the existence of illogical things. Like
So by
okay.
consistent, you mean give a reason why you would commit to something using the laws of logic.
In this case,
Who the hell like
yeah,
uses consistent in that way? Like no one, if you go to any definition, any dictionary, or like any philosophy
I really don't.
Flames does.
source, you're just
Yes,
not gonna
I
like
use it
find
that way.
anybody that uses consistent in that way. You're just using it in a proprietary way.
Yeah, so
Yes, so you're using it in a proprietary way that like no one uses it, and
why does that matter? What the fuck?
it just violates the norms that I have. That's why it matters.
Why do I, why does prescribe okay, why are the norms why does that matter? That's actually
But you're
that's the
like,
most retarded shit I've ever heard.
why do my norms matter? That's trivial.
Are you
My norms
okay,
dictate
look,
what matters. My norms dictate what matters to me. So that's very
God,
trivially solved.
why do I have to prescribe look, why do I have to ascribe to the norm to
No,
actually make like actually wins the game? Like what the fuck?
what do you mean by have to?
That's kind of what you're implying. Look,
Wait, when did I imply that?
okay, if you're not implying that, then we can just move past that. So what's your other contention?
My contention with what? With like your God doing logically impossible things?
Yes.
Well, my contention is just that I'm not really clear on what modality that would be under. Just seems impossible.
I gave them modality. You want to conclude?
You said logical modality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the set of all worlds for a logical modality don't have any contradictions in them. So do you want to try again? Do you want to give a different modality?
Okay. I already explained why that doesn't actually matter because you can use a logical system to explain why something's illogical. I already explained this.
Yeah, but that's
Like,
that's just like a totally different like that's just something like totally different from what I'm getting at. Because by explain, you just mean like give a reason why you would commit to it using the laws of logic, right? But that's different from me saying something like, um, what sort of modality would God be able to do contradictions in? Those are two different things.
okay, wait, no, because if I'm saying that God is illogical, and you ask what grounds do I have to say that, what explanation is there, and I say a logical system, I'm saying a logical system is what allows us to gives us a grounds to actually say this. All right, and I've already explained why you can do that. You can say something is you can say something you can say it's logical because it's logical because something is illogical. You can say that.
Okay. So do you have a response to what I just said?
That was a response. The fuck?
The response to just like what modality would it be under? Because it's obviously not logical modality, and I already
Let's
explained why.
conclude. I already explained why it is under logical modality. I already addressed it. Let's conclude.
It should be very obvious to everyone in the audience that logical modality just means the set of all worlds at which you're quantifying over don't violate any of the three laws of logic, but it violates the law of non-contradiction. So that's just not going to be one of the worlds that you're
Oh,
quantifying. So it's not
that's
logical
already
modality.
that's already wrong because okay, God violates the law of non-contradiction, but how we're actually our proof doesn't violate the laws of non-contradiction. What that doesn't matter.
But God violates the laws of non-contradiction, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying that's the actual world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just trivial that in philosophy, if A is an actual world, then A is a possible world, right? So you're saying that it's a possible world, and then I'm asking you under what modality, and then you just keep on telling me it's a modality under which it's impossible for that world to obtain. So
It's
you're just
not. No, it's not.
you're just
Hold on, listen.
confused. Give me a different
want to
modality. You're confused.
You want to conclude? You want to conclude?
No, I'm not going to conclude until you fucking give me a different modality.
No, because I already answered this. Do you want to conclude?
Okay, you didn't answer that, but yeah, we can conclude it. You can
go
like
first.
not actually like give an answer to what modality
You
would
can-
be, or a response
can-
to like what logical modality even means and
Do you want to go
why
first?
we're
Do you want
trivially.
to conclude first?
How am I supposed to conclude? Dude, I don't debate like this. What the fuck?
Just give a summary of the debate. Why you won.
No, I think it's very obvious to everyone that you just like got the shit beat out of you, bro. It's okay.
Why?
Already said, because you got confused on logical modality.
Okay,
Like
you're
the first
retarded.
would just be that.
Look.
I'll give you a
You
summary.
said no. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Okay, so you said that God can do contradictory things, which I took to mean that there are contradictions that exist on your view. And I asked you, is that in the actual world? You said yes. And it's trivial that in philosophy, if A is an actual world, then A is a possible world. Then I asked you, okay, well, that means that it's possible that contradictions are true. And so I asked you, under what modality is that the case? And you said logical modality. But logical modality just means the set of all worlds at which you're quantifying over don't have a contradiction. And they don't violate the three laws of logic. But it violates the L and C, so it's just obviously not going to be an answer to what modality it is. So there you go. You got blown out, bro. It's okay.
Right. Basically, what I said was okay. When I said that it was in the actual world, I meant that I told you and I clarified this like twice. When I said it was in the actual world, I didn't say that contradictions exist in the actual world, in a possible world, whatever. I said that we have proof for contradictions in a possible world. All right, and that's not actually inconsistent with logical modalities. So yeah, you just didn't understand. Yeah, but it's okay, bro. It's okay.
Also, Flames, you brought up how God was illogical, but he didn't even ask you.